In the heart of America's Keystone State, far from the red soil and the green hills of Kenya, a quiet revolution is underway. One not led by politicians or millionaires, but by ordinary Kenyans building something extraordinary. A lifeline, a foundation, a voice. This is the story of the Kenyan community in Pennsylvania and why, for every Kenyan in the diaspora, belonging to our community is not optional. It is essential. Meet Francis Ngugi, born and raised in Ngecha, Limuru, on the outskirts of Nairobi.
If you know where Limuru Conference Center is, that's where our ancestral home is.
Over 2 decades ago, Francis landed in the United States, a trained accountant from Strathmore University, armed with ambition and hope.
I'm a CPA, still maintain my ISPAC membership, and when I came to the US, I got a bachelor's in accounting.
But the American dream, it wasn't straightforward.
And when I joined that company, it was a very small company. I was actually employee number 6. So I had to wear all the experience that I had before, because I had to be a salesman, I had to be an account manager, I had to be a programmer, I had to be everything, because it was just 6 of us and we were growing pretty fast. So I had to learn things very, very quickly, and that's when I got interested in software and actually left the accounting profession, so to speak.
Francis' journey mirrors my own journey and that of many Kenyans in the diaspora. Skilled, educated, determined.
It takes a while to get a footing when you get here. On average, it takes about 5 years before you find your sweet spot in the US. And that's normal.
But both of us have realized one truth. The American dream is easier when you are not chasing it alone. For years, the Kenyan community in Pennsylvania operated like many diaspora groups, informal, social, and unstructured.
Kenyan community in Pennsylvania is not entirely new. We used to have the original Kenyan community in Pennsylvania, and the way that organization used to work, we only used to meet once to hold a Madaraka Day. So like now, last weekend we had Madaraka Day. So that organization is the one that started Madaraka Day, but the organization was not actually organizing, it was the men. I don't know if you've heard of the men's group. So we still had the men's group. We were contributing $50 each. I think that went on from probably 2013 when that organization was holding the event. So they would reach out to men every summer. Hey, Madaraka Day imekuja, see you guys, you contribute the normal, ndio watu wakule mbuzi pale park na kina mama wapike. So that's how the Kenyan community in Pennsylvania was.
But in June 2023, something shifted.
But it reached a point last year when the community asked, are we really benefiting from this organization? How can we make it more community-centric? Meaning, how can it help the community?
The community gathered, voted, and made a bold move.
So in August of last year, August of 2023, the community met for Madaraka Day. We met in June because we always do Madaraka Day in June. But when we met in June, we had contributed and we had extra contributions. So the men said, let's have a follow-up meeting where we can come and eat more goat and talk about what we need to know about Kenyan community in Pennsylvania.
To restructure into a legally recognized community-focused organization.
So soon after that, we started brainstorming. All right, now we have a constitution, we have bylaws. What is the biggest problem that we have? The biggest problem that we had at that point was the issue of bereavement.
Now, The Kenyan community in Pennsylvania has two powerful arms. A welfare arm where a $100 registration fee, which is non-refundable, is required, and for every bereavement, $25 to ensure emotional and financial support for the bereaved.
I don't know whether it was post-COVID, but there were so many people dying. There was a time we had, I think, 3 bereavements in a 2-week stretch. And of course, because there was no organization, it's, hey, we know so-and-so, si tumchangie, you know, just like we do home. And so if you have 3 of those back to back, it's very tiring and very demanding because we Kenyans are generous. So you cannot take $25 and say, hey, this is my contribution of $25. So maybe you're contributing, say, $50 times 3, that's 150, and you're doing it within like 2 weeks. So that's too much. So we figured out, how do we lessen this burden for the community and also help the bereaved in a way that doesn't cause a lot of conflict and burden. At the same time, how can we emotionally support these people who are bereaved? How do we make sure they have the resources they need to, if they're able to go home, to get a quick ticket? Because when people call you from home, na kuna matanga, you know, in most communities it's a question of a week to 2 weeks, so you need to go quick. If you don't have money, there's no way you're gonna make it, right? So we started the welfare. That we came up with the idea of the welfare. So when we registered the bylaws, now we had a document which we could sell to members and say, this is the contract between KCIP and you if you want to join the welfare, and these are the stipulations for the welfare. So that happened we got registered in December of 2023, and then in January of 2024 we sold the idea, and then March of 2024, that's when we started enrollment of the KCIP welfare. So in effect, KCIP welfare does not exist without KCIP. Even when we did our constitution, the welfare was one arm of what we wanted to do. Yeah.
So let us talk about membership to the welfare.
Mm-hmm.
Is it by family? Is it by individual?
It's an individual membership. So if you're joining you, Bonaventure, as yourself. If your wife wants to be a member, she's going to be a member by herself. Why do we do that? So, for instance, when we are talking about siblings, you cannot cover for your wife's siblings. Those are her siblings, right? You cannot cover for your wife's parents, right? Those are her parents. So we built it in a way to encourage people to join. So we said, hey, you can only benefit from your parents, and she can only benefit from her parents and her siblings. And we did that by design to encourage couples to join as individual members. Same case with, there are people who have, how do I put it? So let's say you marry a lady who has kids, right? You are a stepdad to those kids, right? You might not feel obligated to those kids. Well, I don't know any Kenyan who will like deny those kids, but we're in America, anything is possible. So you can come and bring in your children. She doesn't have to worry about her stepchildren being covered. She can list them if she has legal custody to them, or you. So we made it fun in that way to cover as many people as possible. That's why it's an individual membership.
So you have talked about bereavement.
Mm-hmm.
You have talked about the Madaraka Festival,
mm-hmm.
and maybe, you know, is it representation in the local election or something like that.
Yeah.
So what other benefits are there for somebody to be a member of KCIP or a member of the KCIP welfare?
Okay. If you look at our bylaws, I talked to you about financial literacy. We want to do workshops for the youth. Last year we had one workshop for the youth. One of the reasons why we have not been very active that past year is because we were short on money. We depend 100% on contributions from members, and so we haven't had a chance where we have been able to fundraise to be self-supporting. That's why every time we go to members, but we're looking at ways to be self-supporting, so that we can do most of these programs that we wrote in our constitution that we want to do. I think the issue of the youth is huge. There's a men's group within the KCIP. We call it the Central Pennsylvania Men's Group. About a month, 3 weeks ago, we held a soccer. It wasn't a tournament, it was like a social. So kids came, we went to the park, everybody played soccer, grown-ups, kids, everybody was in the team. It didn't matter whether you were old or everybody was there. And at the end of the day, we had ice cream for them. So it cost money, so because kids like fun stuff. And at the end of the day, it cost. When we had this youth seminar, we had to feed the kids because there's no way we are going to ask your kids to come and just stare at someone who's talking for 2 or 3 hours and they're not being given something. So we had some food for the kids. We would like to do that as much as possible because we are realizing how much our young Kenyans have grown. One of my greatest wishes is to hold financial literacy. I know within the Kenyan group there are people who are dealing with, who are working with insurance. There are financial consultants, there are accountants among us, there are people who are doing taxes. Why don't we use all that brain power to educate our community on things like savings or how you finance education and so forth? So one of the things that I would like to do, if we can be able to do that anytime this year, is to hold a financial literacy seminar. And we already talked to our local representative last year, and he was willing to bring even people from the Pennsylvania Treasury free of charge to come and talk to us.
With over 220 active members, the Kenyan community in Pennsylvania is one of the most organized communities in the USA. Let me do it again, these Kenyans are laughing. Yeah. With over 220 active members, the Kenyan community in Pennsylvania is one of the most organized communities of Kenyan people living in the United States of America. I think that should be better now.
Kenyan Community in Pennsylvania, as the name suggests, is open to all members of Kenyan descent or friends of Kenya who live in Pennsylvania, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So it doesn't matter where you are in Pennsylvania. We know there are other groups, community groups that are organized here and there by other Kenyans. But if you want to join us and build this big umbrella group, we're not asking you to leave the group you're plugged in right now. But if you feel like you do not have a real group, social group, or a community that can support you, be your emotional outlet, KCIP is open to all Kenyans of Kenyan or people of Kenyan descent who live in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah, as you have rightly put it, is that there are many groups here that are purportedly there for Kenyans.
Yeah.
So what would you say makes KCIP different from the other groups?
So what makes KCIP different is we have a very strong constitution. I don't know about the other groups. I believe they have some way that they've organized ourselves, but we did not start mobilizing members until we had a constitution. We did not start mobilizing members to join the welfare until we had the bylaws and we had them registered with the state. So we have a very strong legal background.
But progress doesn't come without resistance. The Kenyan community in Pennsylvania faces the same challenges that plague many diaspora efforts.
There are people who just want to wait and see. I think by now we've already done what is called a proof of concept. I was talking at the park last weekend, and I was telling the community within the past year we helped 8 people who had bereavement, and those 8 people we were able to mobilize the community to give them $35,000 to go take care of bereavement. Like that's a big deal, right? Because those people did not have that money, and there's no way they were going to organize by themselves to do that. Even the little money, like the $5,000, $4,000 that we give the member, it's a big deal because that buys you a return ticket and some money to help people back home. So there are people who, there's always going to be, and this is, I think it's a Kenyan thing, skepticism and criticism. If you did not come up with an idea, stop being critical of the people who came up with that idea. And remember, your KCIP officials serve on a voluntary basis. We don't get paid, and we all have day jobs, right? So my work is not just to serve KCIP, and I'm doing it willingly and free of charge. So be a little bit kinder with the officials. Like I said, it's a common thing that you even see in Kenya, and why people are always fighting is looking at things in the lens of tribalism. This is not a tribal thing. We are in America, we are all Kenyans. So forget that I'm a Kikuyu, you are a Luo, or you're a Luya. Forget it. When we come to America, we wear this because we are all Kenyans. This does not say Kikuyu. It's not written here Kikuyu, it's written Kenya. This represents Kenya. So let's not look at things in that tribal lens, which is something that has affected our country up to now. Let's realize who we are. We are Kenyans.
Unlike many, the Kenyan community in Pennsylvania officials are unpaid volunteers juggling full-time jobs and families. Yet they keep going because they believe in the power of unity.
We have a very accountable group. Integrity is number one. So even in the way we conduct, I'm the treasurer, and the way we conduct our financial operations is very open. And then we are the only group that is open to anybody in Pennsylvania. We have regional groups in maybe Lancaster, we have regional groups in Reading, we have regional groups in maybe a place like the Poconos, which cater for people there. We are the only group that caters for anybody who lives in Pennsylvania, whether you live in Pittsburgh, whether you live at the farthest end of Pennsylvania to the east or the north near Canada, whether you're in Erie, Pennsylvania, and you're a Kenyan, we welcome you to join this group. Again, we are the only, I think we are the only group in the U.S. organized of Kenyans that has a website. we have a website, kenyacommunitypa.org. That's our website.
The Kenyan community in Pennsylvania is more than just about funerals. It's about building a brighter future.
I know we Kenyans like shortcuts. Kenyan community in Pennsylvania, we are not taking any shortcuts.
And soon they hope to launch scholarships, giving second-generation Kenyan Americans a path to excellence. Because integration shouldn't mean erasing your identity. It should mean empowerment.
I would encourage our people, wherever you are in the state of Pennsylvania, just get into our website, kenyacommunitypa.org. There is a form there. if you're living in an area of Pennsylvania where you do not have your kind, just go into the website. There's a form in there. Just fill in the form. It comes directly to us officials, and we're going to respond to you. Again, like I mentioned, there are so many things that we want to do, and we haven't been able to do because of financial limitations. Our website, we have one of the menus there says donate. If you click on that, it opens up a form where you can give us some little money using your credit card. You don't even have to send money to Cash App or anything. Just send whatever little you have through the credit card. One of the things that one of my visions for the website, just to help us lessen the burden of fundraising, we probably later this year, I'm going to start an effort on that website to open a store in there where we can bring in merchants who are selling things that are related to Kenya. For instance, like there's so many of these that I see being sold all over the place, nice t-shirts and all that, because when we do that, come Madaraka Day, we are not going to be going to members and saying, hey, give us whatever you have, because we already have, we've fundraised, and long term we are self-sustaining. We can do whatever we want with KCIP for the benefit of our membership. And like I said, every 100% of anything that we get from the members, we use it on the members.
In Pennsylvania, Kenyans are thriving in industries like nursing, transportation, and healthcare. They need a voice and a seat at the table.
One thing I've seen with Kenyans, and I wish and I pray to God that this can change, we don't like helping each other. The Somalis in Minnesota, they have a representative in Congress, in the US Congress. Why can't Kenyans have a representative in the US Congress? We have so many in Texas, in California, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. Why can't we have one of our own in those big offices? I know we claim Obama, but if we are not able to come up with the next Obama, nobody is ever going to recognize Kenya.
The Kenyan community in Pennsylvania is pushing for more Kenyans on school boards, in local politics, and in leadership, because representation matters.
We Kenyans are not speaking in the same voice. I would beg our people, let's speak in one voice. Let's not look at each other. You're from Mount Kenya, you're from Nyanza, you're from Coast. When we come to America, we are Kenyan. We represent one flag. If we start getting deported, we are not going to be deported as Kikuyus and Luos and Kambas. We're going to be deported as Kenyans. So let's fight as one.
The Kenyan community in Pennsylvania is more than a group. It's a bridge for the Kenyan soul in a foreign land. And if you're in the diaspora, the message is clear. Find your people, plug in, build something. No matter how strong you are, you'll always be stronger together. Thank you for watching Moving Pictures Kenya. See you in the next video.
My name is Bonventure, and this is Moving Pictures Kenya, connecting people, inspiring Africa.